introduce you, and we'll just have that informal catch-up as usual.
Okay, but it's showing?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, but you can't see me.
I can now.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back. This is Gertrude Mache here in Wellington, New Zealand on the 31st of December 2014. I'm really excited because I'm talking to yet another amazing best-selling author by the name of Jennie Gorman. Jennie is a very good friend of mine who's based in Brisbane, Australia, who was one of the first few authors who actually entrusted me to help her in the creation of her book. Jennie has now relaunched her book. It's the second edition, and I'm really excited to catch up with you, Jennie. Congratulations on everything you've done to get to this point.
Thank you very much, Gertrude. It's wonderful to be there again with the second edition.
So, Jennie, let's just go back to the very beginning and talk about your book. Your book is called Awesome Authenticity.
That's right.
It's an interesting title. What inspired you to write about this, and what is the book about?
First of all, what inspired me was I woke up with the title. Wake up one morning and you had mentioned to me it was time for my book. So I woke up with the title and it just sort of came to being from there. It was something that happened. The book really, for me, is all about helping people to become real, to become who they really are, to understand that there's no difference between them as an individual and them as a business person, because it is a book, even though it is for everyone, it is a book that's for people in business to understand the importance of building relationships and building good, strong relationships on trust.
Right. Now, to be authentic, I mean, a lot of people hear about this word, they hear it thrown around left, right, and center, but don't really get the true essence of what it is to be authentic, and especially being authentic in business. Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Authenticity to me means being who you really are, being true to yourself, taking the masks down and allowing the essence of who you are as an individual to come shining through and be real. Basically, it's about showing who you are, not being behind a mask and pretending to be someone you're not.
Now,
Does that help?
lot of people do front, and I'm going to use the word fronting because we put on different masks depending on what situation we're in, whether it's a business setting, whether you are wearing your mask as the mother and the wife in your home, or that person in business. People do this to protect themselves in a lot of ways. But why is it important to actually take off the mask, and especially in a business setting?
The world has changed. In the last probably 5, 6, 7 years, the world is very different in business to what it has been in the past. We were able to be one person in business and then go home and be another person. But the internet has changed all that. Social media has changed all that. If you are portraying yourself to be someone that you're not, it will be seen. For me, I'm what I call a social media stalker. I check everybody out. If there's not some congruency there for me, I have to question. If I can't find out something about someone on social media or on the net somewhere, for me, there's something not right. So as a business person, I look for the social proof, and that's what other people are saying about people to give me a broader picture of who they are, what they stand for. So if you're pretending to be someone you're not, it's going to show through because there's not going to be that congruency there.
Now, the world is flat right now, especially with the use of the internet and the use of social media. And what you're basically saying is that the consistency in who you're showing up as online, a lot of people are doing business on an international level, and they never get to meet their customers or their clients one-on-one or in person. So this is what you're really referring to, correct?
That's right. And also because we have Skype now, and a lot of different modalities that we can use to actually physically communicate, like you and I are from different countries. So you start to get the essence of who people are when you speak with them. And then if you have a look at the way they write, the things they write, the things other people write about them, or the comments they will put on posts, you get a sense of the essence of the person by what they portray to the world. Because I'm a great believer that people look for people, and this is why Facebook for me is so very important, because on LinkedIn, for instance, which I highly recommend, it's a professional platform where the masks can be up. You can't really see the person there as you can see them on Facebook, because you see them interacting daily, speaking as they would normally speak, saying the things they would normally say, and also looking at who they have as friends. Are they negative friends? Are they positive friends? Is the input of them good or not so good? Where are their challenges in life? When we started with social media, I very rarely put anything up about me. I didn't really talk about me at all. And about 2 years ago, maybe it would be 2 to 3 years ago, I realized that people were really wanting to know who people were. And I started talking about me then and my life and what was happening in my life. Because we become very disconnected as a result of the internet in a lot of ways. Yeah. So social media gives people the opportunity to connect with other people and for other people to really see who they are.
Okay, now I've read your book, and I want you to pull out 3 new concepts people will get from this book. One of the things that really jumped out at me when I read the book was the difference between networking and net weaving, which is a concept that you have come up with. Can you elaborate a little bit about that and give me, 2 or 3 more things that people will get from the content of your book?
Okay, so firstly, you want me to talk about the networking, net weaving?
Yes,
is that
please.
what you're asking?
Yes.
Net weaving is a word actually that was coined by a man called Bob Little in America. And when I was living over there in 2003, I contacted him when I saw that he was using networking as net weaving as a building of community. And to me, this is what social media, this is what everything's about today. It's about building community. People are coming back needing community. So when I came back to Brisbane, I started a business called Net Weaving, a net weaving business actually, and I chose the people I wanted to have as a member of a particular club. And I find that the difference, networking is going out, meeting a lot of people, and I find most people when they go out there, they don't really know why they're there. They don't really know what they're meant to be doing. They don't plan their networking. They tend not to follow up afterwards. I would say probably 99% of people do not follow up afterwards. So that from my perspective, they wasted their time, money, and energy. Because if they went, they have to understand why they're going there initially. Are they going just to have a cup of coffee, or are they going from a business perspective? If it's costing them money and it's in business hours, they're coming for business. But it's learning, to me, networking should really be about what I call givers gain. It's all about you go there to support other people to realize their dreams and get what they want. Most people, and a lot of people, and I am generalizing, go to networking events to see what they can get for themselves. Net weaving is when somebody understands the real, what I call the real concept of networking, and they do it without thinking. They become a net weaver. They just weave their tapestry greater. And we all have our own tapestry, which is our journey. They learn to weave it greater by just moving in and out of where they need to move and support people to become who they need to become. Because it's about what you do for others.
So basically what you're saying is that givers get. It's all about give, 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 and the receiving comes organically from what you put out, correct?
That's right. That's right. And not necessarily from where you put it. Because yes. I believe the universe in its wisdom whatever your belief system is, that we get tenfold back. We get it back in different ways. It's not about I do something for you, you do something for me. We do live in the Western world in a place that if you do something, if somebody does something for you, you usually do feel obligated in a way to return and to give back. That's the way we as a people tend to be. What you receive, you feel you owe something. I don't believe we owe anyone anything other than supporting them to become the best they can be. And if we can support somebody to grow, to learn, to be the best they can be, we've done what we came onto this earth plane to do.
And again, on a business setting where everything is very cutthroat, people are putting into time to go to these networking events because they want to get something out of it. And then Jennie Gorman from Brisbane shows up and says, no, it's not about you. It's about the other people in the room. How have you helped people turn that around? I know that you do a lot of coaching and a lot of mentoring for people in business. Let's just talk a little bit about that.
I find that I think the greatest thing is, especially if I'm running an event, and it is a networking event, and I use the word networking. Personally, it's not a word I like, but I use it because it's what the world understands. When I started networking, the word network was computer peripherals. There was no such thing as networking, people getting together as we talk about. The only way you really heard it was there was an old boys network. Now, the old boys network was for the old boys, in as much that people referred people they knew. It didn't matter whether they were any good at what they did, and people didn't specialize in those days. So a doctor was a doctor, or a lawyer was a lawyer, or whatever, whereas now they're all very, very specialized. I find that, that people in those days tended to just look after their mates. It was all about their mates.
Yes, so it was all about the inner circle.
Today it is different. Yes, we have to have our inner circle, but in that inner circle are people that you trust and you know will give what it is you would like them to give and support somebody else. If I have people that I care greatly about, but I would never refer them.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with my relationship with them. It's just that there is someone who is better for somebody else. So I'm a great believer that if I give a referral that is not a good referral, it will come back on me as I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Once that didn't matter, it does matter now. So for me, because I'm able to get the essence of people, I tend to be able to know who they need to connect with. It just seems to be an automatic thing that I do, is that when somebody is talking, my mind starts to go crazy and starts to think, who do they need? Who do they need? And it just sort of happens. I don't know how it does. It does. And I could have 5 people who do the same thing, but it's about matching the right people to the right people.
Okay.
Because if you match the wrong people, there's going to be disappointment.
And again, as you're saying, it falls back on you as the referrer.
That's right. You're only as good as your referrals. You're as good as your referrals. You're as good as the people around you. You're as good as where you've built your trust. Who trusts you and who you trust.
Yes. Wow. So Jennie, how can people get access to your book for a start, and how can they get access to you as a mentor and a coach?
Okay, well, there's 2 ways. Firstly, they can go onto Amazon and get the Awesome Authenticity book there, or they can go onto the Awesome Authenticity website and get it from there, because it's on both. There's also a Kindle version, which is on both. To get access to me, they just pick up the phone and call. They send me an email. They go onto my website, or one of my websites, because I have many, and actually put on there, you know, send me a message via there, we can do it anyway. It doesn't really matter. My greatest passion really is masterminding. And I believe that if you put a small group of business people who are like-minded together, they will gain extraordinary things. Their business will move very, very fast, and it will move in a way that it could never have moved before. For me, masterminding is far more powerful than mentoring and coaching.
Okay, so that brings me
I
to
have my own.
my next question is basically, who is your avatar? Who is that person who you want to connect with and empower and help? So it's one, I've heard people in business. Just give me a quick rundown, the kind of person who would really benefit by having contact with you.
Anybody. It depends why somebody's coming. It depends whether it's a business challenge, it's a personal challenge, because I don't think there's any difference. If we have a challenge in our personal life, it is going to cut across into our business life. If there's a problem in our business life, it is going to affect our personal life. They're not individual. They're individual, but they are connected. You can't separate them because you're dealing with the one person. It's the one individual. So for me, I do a lot of one-on-one, or I do a lot of Skype, I do a lot of telephone calling, I do a lot of face-to-face. It's all about, if you've got a challenge, let me see if I can help you, or who I can find who can help you. Because I don't believe I can help everyone, but I'll know someone maybe who can help them if it's not me.
Okay.
Because
so you're really a conduit. You're a link in a chain of events that could transpire once you know what that person's needs are, correct?
That's right, because until I talk with them and I know their needs, I don't know where to direct them. Okay. And they come and go. I have a very strong, large network of people, probably because I'm very, very busy with social media, and I love social media. It's the greatest thing out there for me. Probably 95% of my business comes as a result of the internet and social media. It gives me the opportunity to put out who I am, yes, and for me to be able to find out who other people are and how I can, or if I can support them, or who I know who can support them. And you can only do that through conversation, be it written conversation or verbal conversation. You have to get that conversation going, and that's where a lot of people miss it with social media. They don't realize they've got to have the conversation.
Yeah, it's in the dialogue.
And it's the appropriate conversation.
Okay. Well, Jennie, I am really looking forward to seeing what else you're going to produce in 2015. And to all of my listeners out there, Jennie Gorman is an amazing woman. I have been working with her for a number of years, and she's one of those ladies that I would recommend without any hesitation whatsoever. So for 2015, this is a perfect time that I'm interviewing Jennie today, just before we change the year and go into a magical new year. Get her book. If you really want to push your business in the right direction and learn how to be effective and how to communicate authentically and effectively in business, get in touch with Jennie. Jennie, thank you so much for this interview.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for calling me.
And I look forward to catching up with you in the new year.
I look forward to it too, and I will get to New Zealand this year, all going well.
Fantastic, Jennie. Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year to you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.